changing this to just like the worst airport experience of my life, traveling for 24 hours, story time. Because I actually just got back from spending 3 weeks in Asia. I have 3 flights to take, which was a whole other nightmare. We got on the plane, we had to get off the plane, we taxied by the line, we had to go back to the gate. There was like 5 technical difficulties. It's like honestly like a comical how many delays I've had in the past 24 hours. So this is a new clip that I'm filming because as I'm editing, I'm realizing that this is no longer a 24-hour travel vlog, but this started out as a 24-hour travel vlog. So the intro that you're gonna see right after this clip is me saying like traveling for 24 hours, which it is, but I'm changing this to just like the worst airport experience of my life, traveling for 24 hours, story time. That is what we're changing it to. It was just the worst experience I've had with like connecting flights and then airports in my life, so I want to share with the world because now it's funny, but at the time, looking back and editing these clips and seeing past Sarah like struggling through this, it's funny now, but it wasn't. So yeah, that is what this is. So I hope you enjoy. Let's go to the original intro and then you'll see as the video slowly devolves. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Oh my goodness, it has been so long since I've spoken to a camera. It's actually crazy, but that does lead me into this video because I actually just got back from spending 3 weeks in Asia. So I went to Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore with my cousin, and we spent a full 3 weeks there. That's why in August I had hardly any uploads because I was gallivanting around Asia. It was just such an amazing trip, and I'm still getting used to like being back and the jet lag and everything like that, but I am getting back into the swing of things. I wanted to record this video because I actually got this idea from Hannah Elise. I literally booked this Thailand trip in January, and then she posted this like 24-hour travel vlog to Thailand like a few months ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy serendipity, but I'm also going to Thailand. So I actually took 3 flights to get to Bangkok. I went from New Jersey to San Francisco to Singapore, and then Singapore to Bangkok. So those were 3 flights, and adding up all the time that I actually spent in the air, not even including layovers, it was over 24 hours in an airplane traveling across the world. I had never done a trip, like a plane trip this long before. I went to Japan. That was maybe like 14 hours. This was 24 hours, and I was very scared about it. I wanted to try and document the experience of me flying for 24 hours, literally traveling halfway around the world. So that is what this video is here. Now, because I was traveling halfway around the world, time is so weird in the air, like especially when you're in the air for that long. Slept a lot, and then I read a lot, and I just didn't know half the time how much longer I had to go, how much I had been on the airplane. This video is a little bit disjointed, but I'm going to pop in here with some clips to sort of make sense of this whole travel vlog, and actually it turned into, because I had one of the worst experiences with the airport and my flight being delayed that I've ever had in my life. So I do explain and go into that here, but because of that, I recorded half my trip there and then half my trip back, because you know the trip back was also 24 hours. I'll pop in here with inserts to sort of like get your head right on what time period we're in. Truly, this video is gonna be like a very real experience to how it was like traveling 24 hours, because if you don't know what's going on, I know what's going on half the time. Put together this 24-hour vlog because it is like a monumentous trip, I think. That is what this video is. We're just gonna record. I'm gonna take you through my 24-hour travel day. Half of my clips are from going there and half of my clips are from coming home. That's just how it worked out. I don't like saying Thailand haul, but I will be showing you all the amazing things that I purchased in Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia. And I'll also be putting out and putting together a Thailand vlog. So that is coming up in the next couple of weeks. Welcome to my 24-hour travel day. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Not my bathroom. I am at the airport. This is the first time that I have spoken to you in this 24-hour vlog, travel vlog, and that is just so rude of me. But if you knew the absolute catastrophe of flight that I had. Like I have like 3 legs that I have to do in this. It was gonna be originally a 24-hour travel vlog, but now it's become like 48 hours, but we're in the air for 25 hours. I tallied it up. I am in the air for 25 hours to get to my destination that I'm going to, which is so exciting. I'm very excited going to my destination, but it's a long, lots of flights to get there. And I thought it'd just be fun to document it because I've never traveled this much in my life. I know that, I'm in a hotel now, so like, you're like, what do you mean you're in the air for 24 hours? Let me explain. I will explain everything. First, let me go show you at the place that I've been absolutely rotting for the past 12 hours. Come on, let's go. Here it is. So you're like far away, so hope you can hear me. I have been rotting in this bed for the past, I got here at like 1:30 in the morning. It's now 1:44 in the afternoon. So yeah, basically, actually 12 hours. I have 3 flights to take. But the reason that I'm like rotting here and I've not really done much is because I am waiting. I have another flight, but it's like late at night and I have to check out of this hotel room at 3 p.m. It's a 16.5-hour flight, like full through. This next second leg, the longest leg, is 16.5 hours. That is what I'm waiting to board. Last night when I got here at 1:30, I got off like a 6-hour flight, 5-hour flight, and now I thought that I was gonna be so uncomfortable for 16 hours just sitting in an airplane seat that I needed to absolutely take complete advantage of this hotel room, just like fully be in my full comfort state for as long as I possibly can. Let me bring you closer and I'll explain. Okay, so hello, welcome to the hotel bed. I don't have any makeup on and I did just, it's been a rough few days. First, let me explain. So my original flight, that was gonna be 5 hours, that was gonna get me here, where I was gonna catch my international flight to this airport. It got delayed 9 hours. That's not an exaggeration. It got delayed 9 hours. It was so bad. We got on the plane. We had to get off the plane. We taxied by the line. We had to go back to the gate. There was like 5 technical difficulties. Our route got changed about 3 times and it was just so crazy. So my flight that was supposed to leave before noon ended up not taking off until midnight, pretty much. Because that flight got delayed so bad, I actually had to change my long flight, which was a whole other nightmare. Like at the airport, as we were waiting to get on our first flight, I was like, there is no way in hell that I am going to make this next like really long flight. And I had booked it like for like a 7-hour layover, like just in case this happened, but then we got delayed 9 hours. So I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna make this like 16.5-hour flight. So I was on the phone with like 3 airlines, not 3, like 2 airlines, trying to like figure out a different way to get to where I'm supposed to be in time. Long story short, they only had availability for that same exact time, but 24 hours later because it was such a long flight. I had to completely change. I had like a bunch of hours to spare because I have to change my original plan. My plane landed here at 1:30 in the morning. My next plane doesn't take off until 11 at night. So naturally, I got the airport hotel that's next to it. It was expensive, but it was so worth it. Just having to deal with that like craziness at the airport and just being so gross and like for like 12 hours at the airport not going anywhere, just getting on and off the plane and then like psyching us out 5 times. I needed to come to a hotel. I need to shower. I need to lay down. I didn't even sleep that much. I tried to sleep, but I think that the anticipation is just like, I can't sleep. I just need to like lay down and be cozy, shower, reorganize myself, and regroup for my next super long flight. So that is why we're at this current hotel. That is my long story about my travels. So sorry for not talking to you for so long. And no one wanted to talk to me. I did make friends at the airport. I met like the layover people that were also like severely delayed. We just had nothing else to do besides talk and wait for them to tell us that we can get back on the plane. So I made some friends, which is nice. Let's go get food. I'm so hungry. I feel so much more like a person. I'm on the 12th floor also, so we have a very pretty view. But I just feel so much more like a person after having to go down there and like interact with people. I've just been in like my little hole in my room rotting and not wanting to do anything because I'm gonna be so uncomfortable on my really long flight. I got off the phone with my boyfriend like before I started recording the first clip, and I was like, I don't feel real at all. And I think I just needed to get actual food in me. It's just like an egg and cheese, but it's so much better than like airport food. Just eating like chips and pretzels, and that's literally it for the past 24 hours. Just was not doing anything good for my body. Having this in front of me, like real food, I feel so much better. I think I'm just gonna sit here, enjoy my last like hour in this very comfy hotel before I have to go catch my next flight. Let in some light, maybe? Okay, let me explain to you the craziness that was my travel day. After my like 6-hour flight got delayed 9 hours, another delay happened also, which I need to tell you about, that I forgot to tell you about. But after my like 6-hour flight, my original flight got delayed 9 hours. We were just in the terminal forever. I had to rebook my like long flight, like I said. But then this morning, I got another text that my flight that I booked to Singapore, which is the second leg of my tour, and then we have like 2.5 hours to the last, my final destination, that got delayed. Then I wasn't gonna make my third connection, but luckily I did book it through the same airline. So because they saw that it was like their fault that I wasn't gonna make my second connection in time, they didn't charge me, and I just called like the health number and she scheduled me for a couple hours later, which is kind of annoying because I'm gonna get to my final destination a few hours later and it's already been a day later, but it's okay. We're gonna get there and we're gonna meet my cousin and it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so then I had to call that airline again this morning. It's like honestly like a comical how many delays I've had in the past 24 hours. I had to call that airline again and get them to change that flight. So it's just been a crazy time. This is iced coffee, by the way, but they just don't use, you could hear the ice. When the guy made it, I felt bad because I was like, oh sorry, can I have iced coffee actually? Because I mean, I did ask for iced coffee, but I don't feel like he heard me, and I saw him putting it in this cup, and I just assumed that this cup was like hot because this is usually what they put hot coffee in. But then he was like, no, we're just using these now. It's like better for the environment to use the like eco-friendly biodegradable cups instead of the plastic cups. And I was like, I love that. I'm gonna eat a muffin, I'm gonna drink my coffee, I think I'm gonna watch some Young Sheldon or some YouTube on my iPad right here, and I'm just going to exist as a person that's not stuck in an airport for another 24 hours again. Okay, let's do that. Okay guys, so I am still editing the 24-hour vlog and I wanted to check in here because I feel like I sort of explained how crazy my travel day had been, but to like further explain, I did sort of explain it, but I was so out of it at that point when at that first clip of me in the hotel room that I don't know if I like fully explained exactly what's happening. So when I wanted to take my first flight from New Jersey to San Francisco before I took my like big international flight, I was in the airport for so long, I guess 9 hours, because that's what past Sarah said. Literally, like everything that could possibly go wrong on that first flight went wrong. Our flight got delayed like twice. And then we boarded, and then we were like taxiing or something, and then they had to change our route quite literally 2 or 3 times. So we were just sitting like taxiing, waiting to take off or waiting to get in line, and then they would keep on changing our route. So it like delayed further when we were on the airplane, just not going anywhere. And then like I guess there was like a weird sound being heard in the back of the plane that no one knew what it was, so they had to call in maintenance, and it was raining, so they had to deplane us. We all got off. We all had just boarded. We had to all get off again. And then we had to wait in the airport while they waited for the storm to pass so that the engineering people can come in and inspect the plane before we can take off. So then we were in the airport, like in that interim time, for several hours, waiting for the storm to pass, waiting for them to see that our airplane was like safe, I guess, what the unidentified noise was. I talked to a lot of people there actually because we were just all stuck there, so might as well talk. So then we got back on our airplane, and then we got delayed for like another hour, and then we finally took off. And that was my first leg of the flight. So needless to say, by that time that I was in the air, I meant to record more in the air, but I was just so tired. Everyone around me was so irritated. The last thing I wanted to do was like pop out my camera on the airplane and be like, hey guys, so we're probably on the flight, you know? So that is why I had to change my international flight because I missed it because I was so delayed, as I explained. And then I got a hotel room in the airport. That is where all those airport clips are from. Because it's like a really long flight, the airline that I took, so they had to basically give me the same time but 24 hours later. So my original flight was supposed to take off at 10 p.m. to Singapore. That was a 16.5-hour one. That was the only one that they had, but like the next day. So I had to wait a full 24 hours basically because I got there at 1:30 in the morning finally to San Francisco, and then I had until like 10 p.m. until I could board my flight. So I spent the most time as I could without paying for another night in the San Francisco airport hotel, and then I edited, and that is why I got a video out. Honestly, the only reason I got that July wrap up out is because I had all that time waiting for my next flight to take off, so I just edited. So that was that clip. And then finally got on our Singapore flight, and then I showed you the one clip I took because I was sitting next to strangers, so I didn't want to like talk, you know, like when I had this idea, right, I thought that I was gonna be sitting next to my cousin and she would be like way cooler with me just whipping out the camera and be like hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, like documenting the time in the air, but I didn't want to do that to the strangers. So the only clip that I got on that really long flight, the clips out the window, and then me saying like 2 hours in, I survived. Long story short, I survived. Thank you, Taylor Swift. This is really just turning into like an worst airport experience ever story time. Maybe I should just name it that. That is what happened. Now, these next clips that are coming up are with my cousin on my flight back home. So literally 3 weeks that we spent, well, almost 3 weeks that we spent in Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. That vlog is coming a couple weeks. But these next clips are clips taken on the 24-hour flight back home. I hope that makes sense. The series of unfortunate events, airport edition. But yeah, I hope that clears a little bit up. I don't know what this video is anymore, guys. For our super long flight, 15.5 hours. I'm gonna do a little second 24-hour traveling day. Can't wait. Yay. We got the next one. We're now on hour 6. I have my neck pillow. We are on hour 6 of this 24-hour travel day. I slept for like 2 hours. I'm gonna try and go back to sleep. But yeah, we got our first meal. That was pretty good. Looking rough. Hour 6. So yeah, basically, long story short, I survived. We ended up in Thailand. We saw some amazing things that I will never forget for the rest of my life, and look forward to that vlog coming up. This is a little sneak peek of what will be in that vlog. I just thought it was fun to document just this insane travel situation. So yeah, that's gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.